time to get sparkly with you. Sorry, a little bit late today. I was redoing my hair. I know you love it. I got a bit of a hat going on and matches my glasses, yellow and yellow, because I'm feeling like a little bit of a yellow submarine, because we're living in a submarine at the moment. You living in a yellow submarine? Yeah, me too. So today I have the Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Come and join me for a little bit of crazy. Remember, spine of the book, just like ours, keeps us all together and keeps us strong, keeps us rocking ahead. Yay! I'm glad it's your favorite color, Peter. I love yellow. Yellow glasses make this world look so much shinier. In fact, it's probably even better than rose-tinted glasses because it's all bright and shiny, like bright, shiny stuff. How cool is that? It's by Eugene Trevisan and the who's that person that does the pictures? The illustrator is Helen Oxenbury. And this is a favorite of mine. I used to read this to my class when we used to do alternative fairy tales or myths and legends. And the Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig, as you can imagine, is a little bit of a twist up on the old story of the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. So shall we get into it? Thanks. Thought you might like it. I can do one for you. Trudy, a friend of mine who usually does my hair, but I can't get to her because she's a little bit far away and she doesn't want to have to use an umbrella as a mask. Normally does my hair, but I got a box mix and she's always good with box mixes. She loves them. Don't you, Trudy? Said nobody ever. In fact, she's so legendary that she offered to mix up the dye and drop it off all the way to Tambourine. How cool is that? So, the Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Once upon a time, there were three cuddly little wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother. The first was black, the second was grey, and the third was white. Gosh, sounds like that mother got round, didn't she? One day the mother called the three little wolves round to her and said, "My children, it is time for you to go out into the world. Go and build a home for yourselves, but beware of the big bad pig." "Don't worry, mother, we will watch out for him," said the three little wolves, and they set off. She looks a lot like the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood, doesn't she? I wonder if it was. Soon they met a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. "Please, will you give us some of your bricks?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the kangaroo, and she gave them lots of red and yellow bricks. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. That looks pretty typical of a good old Australian doing bricklaying, sending their women out to do the work for them while they lie around at home. Just kidding. The very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the little wolves had built. The three little wolves were playing croquet in the garden, because that's what little wolves always do. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the door. I used to do that when people came to check on my baby because I was so crazy in the head that I didn't want to see anybody. But I'm all right now, can't you tell? Maybe you could make up some games like this in your garden. And you could go and play croquet or pétanque. The pig knocked on the door and grunted, little wolves, let me come in. No, 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 said the three little wolves. By the hair on our chinny chin chins. Oh gosh, they must be mothers. I know that feeling. How am I going to be at the end of this? We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot. I have a china teapot. In fact, Trudy gave it to me. Love it. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, said the little pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed. But the house didn't fall down. Pretty legendary. Bricks are good like that. Yes, it is tempting to make jokes about pigs, but I've got a few nice friends in that environment, so I'll refrain, but they know who they are. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched the sledgehammer and he knocked the house down. It's not very nice, is it? The three little wolves only just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. Look at him smashing the bejeebers out of that. Yes, I'm still working out how to actually show you the pictures. Go away, flies. Flies are so annoying. If anybody can send in what flies are actually useful for other than making maggots for my chickens to eat, feel free. We shall have to build a stronger house, they said. Just then they saw a beaver. Kylie, it's a beaver. Hope his hair's not too long. Who was mixing concrete in a concrete mixer. Please, will you give us some of your concrete? Asked the three little wolves. Certainly, said the beaver, and he gave them buckets and buckets full of messy, slurry concrete. Did you like that the beaver had a high-pitched voice? Because we're all about gender fluidity here. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of concrete. I think a lot of us could use a cup of concrete at the moment so we can all harden up. I keep concrete in my cupboard for my husband when he needs to harden up. He loves when I tell him to. Just saying. Yes, yes, you can see the big Muppet walking around in the background every now and again, can't you? Super Muppet, I should call him, not Tonka. No sooner had they finished than the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the little wolves had built. They were playing battledore and shuttlecock in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house and shut the door. Just as well. Their mummy taught them well, didn't they? The pig rang the bell and said, Little frightened wolves, let me come in. No, 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 said the three little wolves. By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot. Gosh, at the rate that they've got hairs on their chinny chin chin, I'm going to have a beard at the end of this. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed. Sounds like my kids when I say they have to get off screens. But the house didn't fall down. Concrete's good like that. Wonder what he's going to use to get rid of that one. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his pneumatic drill and smashed the house down. This one is especially for you, Heath. I thought you might like a pneumatic drill. What a legend. I could use somebody with a pneumatic drill to come out to my house and smash up all the concrete that I don't want. I'll read you a story. We can make a deal. The three little wolves managed to escape, but their chinny chin chins were trembling and trembling and trembling. I think I might have wet my pants if that was me. I just have to sneeze sometimes and it happens. We shall build an even stronger house, they said, because they were very determined. Just then they saw a lorry. Who knows what a lorry is? If we use the picture to give us a clue, you might be able to work out that a lorry is a truck. But for all of those people listening in the UK, and I know there's a few of you, you already know what a lorry is. They saw a lorry coming along the road carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armour plates, and heavy metal padlocks. Please, will you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armour plates and some heavy metal padlocks? They said to the rhinoceros who was driving the lorry. Sure, said the rhinoceros and gave them plenty of barbed wire, iron bars, armour plates and heavy metal padlocks. Heavy metal padlocks! Maybe we could use this to lock AC/DC up somewhere safe so I don't have to listen to them play ever again. Now I'm going to lose some people, aren't I? A fence, a fence, a fence. Just don't take the gate. So the three little wolves, he gave them some plexiglass and reinforced steel chains because he was a generous and kind-hearted rhinoceros. It's always nice to give more than you're expected to give, isn't it? So the three little wolves built themselves an extremely strong house. It was the strongest, securest house one could possibly imagine. They felt very relaxed, absolutely safe. But I would like to bet that they're not. What do you think? Have a look at that for safety. It's pretty intense, isn't it? Just while I adjust my little hat on my head. When I do my hair like this, it makes it harder to keep my glasses on and my hat. Especially when I do this, it moves. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. Gosh, he's out of quarantine quite a bit, isn't he? The little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house, bolted the door and locked all the 67 padlocks. That's a lot, and I'd say let's count them, but that's too many. We'll be here all day. The pig pressed the video entrance phone and said, "Frightened little wolves with the trembling chins, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. Well, there's a surprise. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. I knew I'd get some people with that AC/DC comment. At least you're engaging. He brought some dynamite, laid it against the house, lit the fuse, and we all know that we don't do this at home because it's not safe. I'm pretty sure he has all his certificates and his explosive certificates for being allowed to use dynamite. So just make sure if you're going to use dynamite, you have done the appropriate courses and safety degrees. The house blew up. The little wolves just managed to escape with their fluffy tails scorched. Can you see the little wolves trying to get out? They're over here. It's not very nice of the big bad pig, is it? He's a bit of a twat. There's lots of big bad pigs out in the world, aren't there? But we just have to look for the good little wolves and the nice pigs. And if you look hard enough, you can always find the nice people. And my friend said to me one time, look for the helping people. If you're watching the news and all the terrible stuff like houses blowing up and things like that, get your kids to look, or kids, look for the people who are helping. In every situation, you will always find the good. You'll always find the good people or the kind people doing kind things. Look for those people. Look for the ambos, look for the vets, look for the doctors, look for the nurses, look for the random people that just stop on the side of the road and help people out. There's lots and lots and lots of them. The fireys, the SES, there's so many that I just can't even name them all. Look for those helping people. They're always around. Something must be wrong with our building materials, they said. We have to try something different. But what? That's sort of like us at the moment. Everything's gone crazy and we have to try something different. At that moment, they saw a flamingo bird coming along, pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. Please, will you give us some flowers? Asked the little wolves. With pleasure, said the flamingo bird, and gave them lots of flowers. So the little wolves built themselves a house of flowers. Is it straight? Can you see it? Not a lot of my stuff is straight. It's always a bit wonky. One wall was of marigolds, one wall of daffodils, daffodils, one wall of pink roses, and one wall of cherry blossom. Well, that sounds delicious. And I know the Jim Boomba Gardening and Surrounds group that I belong to would love a house like that. The ceiling was made of sunflowers and the floor was a carpet of daisies. They had water lilies in their bathtub and buttercups in their fridge. It was a rather fragile house and it swayed in the wind, but it was very beautiful. Sounds like my mind. Very fragile. Wavers in the wind, but often beautiful. What's yours like? What kind of house would you build that would bring you joy and happiness? Maybe you could build a hut right in the middle of the lounge, just to be annoying. Or not so maybe annoying, but to be fun. Let's change our perspective on that and think, this would be fun. We could all get in there. I did it for my birthday one year. We built a hut and we had pizza for dinner, all of us. My husband was stoked having to climb into a hut and eat pizza for my birthday. But you know what? Those are the kinds of things that bring us joy. Little things, little crazy, crazy things that make us feel happy. Next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of flowers that the little wolves had built. He rang the blue bell. Oop, I thought I was getting it wrong, but I'm correct. He rang the blue bell and said, frightened little wolves with the trembling chins and the scorched tails, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. Do you think it's going to be easier for the pig to blow this house down? Unless he's got hay fever, then he's rightly in trouble, isn't he? But as he took a deep breath, ready to huff and puff, he smelled the soft scent of the flowers. It was fantastic, and because the scent took his breath away, the pig took another breath and then another. Instead of huffing and puffing, he began to sniff. He sniffed deeper and deeper until he was quite filled with the fragrant scent. I do that in my house with my aromatherapy. His heart became tender and he realised how horrible he had been in the past. I think there's some people out there that we'd have to actually dip in barrels of this stuff to get them to change. In other words, he became a big, good pig. He started to sing and dance the tarantella. That's a real kind of dance, actually. If you Google it, you will find the tarantella. Tarantella. Real dance, even. And see, it goes to show that even if you're a big bad pig, you can be a nice one if people are just kind to you. Just one thing. At first, the three little wolves were a bit worried, thinking it might be a trick, and it could be because it's April Fool's today. But soon they realised that the pig had truly changed, so they came running out of the house. They introduced themselves and started playing games with them. That's just my roof creaking because the sun is on it, and it starts to move and make these weird sounds. Freaks people out. Try not to say that they're ghosts because that freaks them out even more. Firstly, they played pig pong or pig pog, and then pig pong if he was dirty and smelly, wouldn't it? Pig pog. And then piggy in the middle. Look, he doesn't look upset to be the piggy in the middle, does he? Normally, everybody's all upset to having to be the person in the middle. And when they were all tired, they invited him into the house. How nice they're all playing together. Hope he hasn't got flu. Swine flu. I'm pretty sure he would have done 14 days of self-isolation before he came and played with them, don't you? They offered him china tea and strawberries and wolfberries. Wolfberries? Do you think there's really a thing as wolfberries? And asked him to stay with them as long as he wanted. The pig accepted, and they all lived happily together ever after. How nice is that? Wouldn't it be wonderful if our world could be like that? Where when all the big bad pigs are all grumpy and grizzly and groany, if we did something nice for them, and then they could turn into big good pigs, and we could create a world that is full of kindness and laughter and joy and a little bit of crazy. You know I love crazy. So that came all the way to me from the UK, especially from a friend of mine, Heather, who used to live there. She got me this in a beautiful story called Plop the Owl. But unfortunately, some little maggot at my class stole it. Sorry, I think I'm breathing bugs. Flying bugs. Anyway, if you can get hold of it, it's a great book. And until tomorrow, enjoy your day. Be kind. Think of ways that you can spread the kindness. And start with yourself. Toodaloo.